There you go, folks. This will be my first attempt at a two-queen colony. Now, I got this idea from the Bee Culture magazine. A couple months ago they had an article on doing two-queen colonies. And I think traditionally what most people would do is do like a double deep on the bottom, a bunch of honey supers in the middle, and a double deep on top with two queen excluders, the queen on top and bottom. But I saw this idea, and I think the idea they had was actually it had 10 frames and then a single stack in the middle for a chimney effect. But I'm gonna try it with 5 frames. So I just went through both of these bottom hives, number 20 and number 2 there. So number 20 I found queen cells in, but I could not find the queen anywhere. So I don't know if they already swarmed or what. They seemed like they had a pretty decent population, but I mean, maybe they were way overcrowded before they swarmed, and that's why they swarmed, I don't know. But number 2 looked fine, had great brood population. Never saw the queen, wasn't looking for her, but saw eggs and stuff, and didn't see swarm cells, so I was happy. But anyway, all I did was, these 2 hives were already side by side. They were just about 8 inches apart. So once I was happy with the inspection that both of them I thought were going to make, be good hives, I just slid them right up snug side by side. And I put a queen excluder on top in the middle, and then stacked up my 10 frame mediums on top. So a 10 frame medium is 16¼ inches wide. When you put together 2 5 frame hives, it adds up to be 19¼ so it leaves you 3 inches spare. So I centered it up 1.5 inches on each side, cut an 1.5 inch strip of wood to put on each side for a little bit of a roof, and then you have your single stack chimney there. So anyway, this should be fun. It should be a good little test. I've never done this before with a 2-queen colony. The idea of a 2-queen colony is that you basically double your field force for 1 hive, and it's people will say, well, why don't you just have two hives? What I have found is that 2 average size hives will make less honey than 1 hive twice that size, if that makes sense. It has to do with basically the carrying expenses of having, the brood nest and the queen and your worker bees and everything else. So when you combine your worker force, you have bees that actually will support both colonies, and so you can actually run sort of a lean ship as far as your nurse bees taking care of the brood, but also your forager bees are in direct communication. So if foragers from one hive finds a resource before the foragers from the other hive do, they're ultimately going to share that message when they come in to do their waggle dance. So it helps it from a sense of spreading the word quicker, and just overall less manpower can do more work is the idea. So we shall see. I'll keep a close eye on them once I see the flow start. I pray that I have to add a super, but I really don't think I'll have to. What you've got equivalently, each of these double deep 5 frames is equivalently 1 double deep 10 frame. Okay, so what you're looking at here is really the equivalent of this double deep 10 frame with 3 mediums above, but 2 independent queens, which should lead hopefully to an overall larger brood nest. But like I said, I don't know. We'll see. It's the first time I've ever done this. It's a little test, so y'all ride along. I hope I like the result, because if it goes well, then I think what I'll do in the future is all of my 5 frame nukes, I'll try to get them built up to be double deeps like this prior to the flow, and then I'll 2-queen colony all of them, and then after the flow's over, strip off all your supers, split them all out, and make a bunch more nukes. That's my plan. And again, you could do the same thing with 10 frames, just move them all into 5 frame box. Oh, excuse me, it's early and I got the hiccups. You could do the same thing several different ways. So my way is not necessarily the best or the worst, whatever, but I just want to share it with you. It's something new I'm trying, and I hope I find out that I like it.